You're on.
The breakfast show, we're going to start this meeting at 8:51, a little bit late today. All right. Judy, I would like to bring the insurance people up and let y'all do your thing so y'all can get on about your business.
Oh,
Great, thanks Lisa.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you for having me. I'm Jimena Centellas. I think I got to meet everyone this morning. This is my partner, Eric McGinnis. I provided you with a folder, a Hub International folder. If you don't have one, let me know. We can certainly get you a copy. Inside your folder, you're going to find a service grid. Great reading for a night of boredom, but no, not really. It's a service grid that we provide you guys. This is kind of my job description to you guys. This is what I like to give out our groups so that they'll know exactly what to expect from their broker. Okay? I personally handle your employee benefits program, and that means your health insurance, your vision, dental, life, disability, and so on and so forth. The program that is presented to the employees when they're hired, the benefits that they get for being employed by you all. Eric does handle your property and casualty, your risk management on that side. So any questions on that, Eric can answer, and I'll answer anything regarding employee benefits. I work a little bit different than what you guys have been accustomed. Now for going into the third year, I act more as your consultant, not as your agent, okay? I do like to make that distinction because I, Jimena, can wear many hats. The first hat that I can wear is an agent. I place insurance, I go out to the market, I place it, and off I go, okay? My commission is paid by the insurance company, and that's the setup that you had for many, many, many years previous to me coming on board. The commissions are embedded in your insurance program, okay? So whatever premium you were paying for your health insurance, there was a 5% commission embedded there. The agent took that every month, okay? Same thing with your other ancillary products, your life, your dental, and so on and so forth. There was a 10% embedded commission in there, and that's what was being paid for the as a commission to the agent. When I was awarded the business by you all through a request for qualifications, we did do our RFQ that year. I had suggested don't do it on price. And I'm going to explain to you why not on price, because you, in the eyes for insurance, are a small market, okay? When agents approach the marketplace on your behalf, every single marketplace is going to give out the same quote no matter what agent you're using, okay? My thought here is, well, that's great and dandy. We cannot truly, agents cannot and do not have any negotiating power on the premium itself. It is based on your claims, okay? So unless I fix those claims for you, unless I fix those sick people for you, then every agent that you utilize should get the exact same quote, okay? That's regulated by the state. I can't do anything about it. So my suggestion when you did your RFQ, I said do it based on qualifications of the agent, okay? What are you going to do for my 5% embedded commission, for my 10% embedded commission that you guys are taking on my product, okay? And that's what you did. The business was awarded to us that year. And then one different thing that I did, I said, well, allow me to wear my other different hats. So I just explained to you the hat that I wear as an agent. I am a licensed life and health insurance counselor, which are very few to find in El Paso, and we are proud to have most of them at Hub International. That allows me to act on behalf of you as your consultant and as an agent. And what we do there is I remove all commissions from your premiums, okay? The premiums that you are currently paying, so when you get those invoices for health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, are net of commission. The insurance company does not pay me. You pay me, okay? We did that so the fiduciary responsibility of my position for you guys is now to you, not the insurance company. I don't get incentivized by your renewal increases because my commission is not embedded on that, okay? So just to kind of give you an example, what I did on the health insurance, if it's a typical 5% commission that's embedded there, Hub International agreed to do it for 2%, except you pay me now out of your pocket instead of sending the money to the insurance company and having them pay it out, okay? Your flat fee has been $20,000 a year. Prior to me coming on board, you were paying approximately $30,000 just in commission embedded in the product, okay? That $20,000 fee has not been changed since. We have agreed that for a period of at least 3 years, we would continue to operate and work on your behalf for that fee. That way, my renewals are not incentivized by an increase. In the past, you would get delivered an increase on your health insurance on any type of employee benefits insurance product. The agent would say, hey, there's nothing I can do. It was based on claims, and truly it is based on claims, so there's nothing I can do, but I got an increase. I got a pay raise through that increase the other way, just because you have, you're having some claims. We completely disappeared that, and now it's 20 flat, whether you grow, whether you not grow, okay? So that's what this service grid is. I went ahead and I wrote a job description that you can have so that you can hold me accountable by saying, if I'm paying you, here's what I expect from you to do, and this is what this is. Okay, so you're more than welcome to go through it, but mainly the things is risk management. I'm here to ultimately look at the risk of the group, specifically for health insurance purposes, and then decide with you all what route you want to take every year for renewal. As of right now, for the last 3 months and a half, Mary Lisa and I have been monitoring claims. Okay, my team does monitor the claims. We do have a couple of high claimants, which anytime it's concerning, I meet with these ladies and make sure that we are starting to formulate a plan for renewal. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm telling you, you do have a high claimant. I am not the type of agent, and I've always said this to the ladies, I am not the type of agent, counselor, that is just going to blast the market and red flag you in the market. And if you give me just 2 minutes to explain you what that is, you will probably comprehend it a little bit better. When we talk about health insurance, all of the carriers that are available to write the risk that you all have are very few that can do that, okay? In the El Paso area, we have the Blue Crosses, the Aetnas, the Humanas, the United Healthcares, and that's pretty much it, unless we start looking at self-funding stuff, okay? Which you're not at, we can definitely go that route. My suggestion is we're not there yet. Well, here's what happens. If every year I blast those 4 or 5 markets with your claims information, because in order for them to quote, we need to provide your claims information to them. If every year I blast the market doing this, and we don't award the business to any of those carriers, every time I try to approach them, they're like, why are you approaching us again? You did this last year and the year before that, and you still haven't awarded us the business. I'm going to be quite frank with you, an underwriter is not going to be favorable on your rating. In fact, they look at you as a shopper and a jumper. That's how you get flagged in the market. That's what we're trying to prevent. When I came on board, I wanted to build a relationship with the current carrier that is carrying the risk, so that in the future we can say, hey, you've had the business this long time, what can we do? Let's partner up. Underwriters like to see that we have a proactive approach and that we have a plan, not that we're jumpers. That's not how we're going to reduce your costs. And Blue Cross has in the past, in fact last year, they gave us a break for that specific relationship. So prior to me every year in renewal, me blasting the market with your information, we review claims, and then we make the decision, do we go out to shop or do we not? Do we want the markets to have this information on behalf of our group? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you discussed that with us internally, or with...
Correct,
Okay.
correct. They look at those claims.
Okay.
I tell them, these are your top claimants, these are the medications we're using, these are the hospitals we're using. Is this information that you want to put out there? And I'm going to be quite frank, the recommendation is when you have a high claimant, you don't. Because all that's going to happen over here is they're going to decline you. They're going to say, thanks, but no thanks. At this point, we're not interested in writing your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But that's information you don't want them to have.
When you say high claimant, you're not using that term interspersed with hypochondriac, are you?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. When I use the term high claimant is that we have an employee or a dependent
For
that
whatever reason needs to make many claims, but they could be legitimate, right?
They're all
They're all
legitimate.
legitimate.
That's what I do for you. I make sure those claims are legitimate. And the word high claimant, we're talking about claims that are 30,000 and up. Okay? So I have a couple of those individuals, which that's fine, that's what the insurance is for. Now we just work on how do we control those claims so that it doesn't affect our rate as much as possible. Okay?
Okay.
So that's what this is. It's a survey, Chris, that goes more a little bit into detail of what I do, how I monitor your claims, how my claims department internally, they're the ones that kind of give me the heads up. Jimena, red flag, we're having this. Can you please go out and talk to the group and see if we can implement some kind of solution so that, again, your claims don't impact us as much for renewal purposes. Another thing that I do a lot, and this is more what I tell the ladies, this is what you probably see me more working on behind the scenes, is compliance. With Affordable Care Act, we've had to become compliant in many ways. The first one that comes to my mind that we had to do with your group is we had to adjust the deductibles to be compliant, and that was a big cost increase for you guys, okay? We were in a plan that prior to Affordable Care Act, it was okay to have. When we moved into that 2010, that 2011 timeframe, it was not okay to have. So we had to make those adjustments that, again, increased the premium. Okay, so I work on that a lot, making sure your plan is compliant, making sure the ladies and the district is compliant in the sense of notifications to the employees, to dependents, and so on and so forth.
Amanda, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the district is a unit of government, just like the county?
Mm-hmm.
In law in Texas, they're our closest similar
Mm-hmm.
government representative.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When we wrote the fee for service, we wrote the contract with that in mind. And we do, Hub International is the agency in town that writes most of the public entities and governmental entities. So I use those resources, that team, to make sure that we're in compliance as well here.
Well, the code term we always use is we're a political subdivision of the state of Texas.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. What
And then
else?
I'm looking at your page 20 here, your renewal process, your presentation today, where are we along that line?
Very good question, thank you. So where are we at in the renewal line? As of this week, your renewal offer, and I do the quotations, offer, is not released yet. It won't be released actually until the first month of June. The carriers in the state of Texas, so the insurance companies, by law have to give out a renewal 60 days prior to the renewal date, okay? But we're already in conversations with Blue Cross because we did a mid-year review a month and a half ago. We did a renewal mid-year review, and the carrier already knows what our plan is, what we want to see for renewal offer, what our goal is to achieve. That's when I went over high claimants as of that month. So once those renewal numbers come out, that renewal offer, we're gonna do the same review, but now look at updated claims data. Because last 2 months 2 months ago when I did the mid-year review, something could have changed in the condition. Claims could have easily come down or they could have increased. So at that point is when we will determine, okay, do we blast the market, do we not blast the market? Do we start looking at different deductibles? Do we start looking at different copays? Another thing that we've done, just so that you know, and your ladies have done a magnificent job on this. When I came in, I came more in an educational type of role. And one of the things that I suggested to the district 2 years ago is that don't go to the cheapest plan. That's the biggest mistake people do to save money. They go to the cheapest plan, so now you're at the bottom of the barrel. And when you have a bad year and you need to save money, you can't increase deductibles anymore to save money. So I suggested, let's look at plans in the middle that gives us room to downgrade to save some money, or if we're having a good year, upgrade, again, to position you in a better place for an increased renewal. Does that make sense? And they've done that. So we are at a point right now that depending on how this renewal offer comes out, we can easily jump down, still be compliant, and save a couple of dollars on that renewal. Okay? What else?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say a few words.
Sure.
It's been a pleasure to work with Jimena and with Eric, and you being on the executive committee, you sat last year with us when we made our recommendation to you, and she gives a very good explanation of do's and don'ts and what to look at and whys, and she's been a great asset, and she's just a phone call away from Mary and Lisa whenever they have a question or they just want to meet and look over what's going on, or we have concerns. But we are very happy with their performance. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Nice endorsement.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead. I know, Mike, you've had a lot to do with this. So.
Yes, I was one of the, I think I was on the committee back in the day when I first
to
came on
really
board.
review it.
Yeah.
And first of all, I appreciate you making time to be here,
Of course.
because I'm always asking every month, who's a consultant, what's a consultant? Because it's a new concept, which makes sense now that you explain it now, and you explained it to me back then. But it's always good to have a very good relationship, which I understand has been going on a continuous basis, because I always ask every month.
Yes.
And secondly, I need to know that there is a vested interest in both as a team. We're not just you guys over here and
Right.
we're over here, we're a team.
Right.
And when you come here and visit us, even though it hasn't been very regular, but that's why I was asking Lisa, you know, I haven't seen these people in a while, so I think we need to, you know, whatever. It shows that there's really an interest and there's a value. So when we're deciding, this is why you were saying something about having the jumpers. I mean, well, of course, okay, we continue. We don't want to be jumpers. I think that was one of the reasons, and you educated us on that
Yeah.
concept at the very way back in the day. So but we want to feel that we're a team. And if
Absolutely.
you've been here, I think it solidifies that. And by going forward, I think it's just very educational.
Absolutely, no, we definitely have partnered up with you guys, and that's why I wanted to explain the fee for service, because that is the first proof of our partnership. We have, in the past 2 years, you have received increases because of high claimants, but we have not taken a pay increase on that. And that's when that's what we work on that fee for service, that consultation hat instead of an agent hat. Because as an agent hat, I get a pay raise every time you guys get an increase.
And you had guaranteed us that rate for what, 3 years?
For another 3 years, she said.
I was gonna say,
We're on our
you're here today
third.
to extend that to
We're on
2
our
years.
Actually, prior to Lisa letting me know to come to the board meeting, we were just discussing that with our president. I had to discuss the third year for this account, and we don't see any reason why it would go up. I mean, we're maintaining claims, we're maintaining premiums to the lowest possible. I would not be able to justify a higher increase for you guys.
And I wanted to add, if I may, is that I know you state that, you know, you don't see them on a regular basis. However, our communication is regular. I just pick a phone and they can come in, but they're constantly communicating with me. So, you know, I have to say that I do. It's on a regular basis most of the time.
And your employees too, by the way, that was one of my biggest goals for the district. I wanted the employees to know the Hub International team and to feel comfortable when they have a claim to contact us directly, and they do. They do not feel they have to call 1-800 number. I've worked with some of you on claims, and it's that personal touch, so.
And by all means, I think that personal touch is key. When we came on board, our biggest question was, oh my gosh, these guys are huge. They were local, all of a sudden they're huge. And is Lisa gonna be calling 1-800 number every time? That didn't happen, and I appreciate that
Yeah,
not happening.
You would never know they were corporate because they're
Yeah.
just a phone call away. Both
I'm
of
not
them.
El Pasoan, but I am adopted by El Paso. I've
Oh,
been here
great.
21 years.
And Eric?
I've been here 12 years.
Okay. That's
I grew up in El Dorado, Texas.
That's right. You eat chili?
Of course.
Okay. You passed the test.
They're both Cowboy fans.
Absolutely.
That's all right.
That's it, okay, where do we renew?
Any other questions, guys? My card is in that folder, and you guys are more than welcome at any time to ask questions. Please feel free to
All
comment.
right. Amanda, thank you very much for your
And thank you
presentation.
for-
Eric, thank you for
Mr.
coming.
Chairman, thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you very much. All right. I did pass one thing, I forgot about the welcome of guests. Robert, would you like to say? This gentleman?
My name is Pete Elder, and I'm the permit coordinator for Comanche Trail Pipeline, and that I'm here as a spectator today to see how things go and how the board operates these meetings. And I've been working with Jay since early March, and that our plans are still in the drawing stage, but that we plan to propose some canal crossings in the future. But I'm here as a spectator today.
Very good, welcome, we hope we don't bore you too much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go on to the next, it's the approval of the minutes. Anybody look at the minutes under tab 3? Indar, welcome. I didn't see you come in. Anybody? Indar?
I'm gonna, will they approve both of them are
Yeah, both meetings, the April
Second
8th
that,
and
second
then the
that.
telephonic meeting. All right, Indar moves that they
Second.
accept it as presented, and Mike seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Next, report and recommendations by Mary Cortez. All right, Mary.
As stated earlier, Mr. Ivy, CB 36000751, there's a correction on the maturity date, which should be September 5th, 2016.
We should say that last 4 digits of the
7151.
7151, the maturity date is what?
September 5th, 2016.
9/5/16, okay. Well, y'all see that, it's the second CD on that line. All right,
It should be what, I'm sorry?
September 5th, 2016.
on the maturity date, September 5th, 2016. It was still in 18 months, right?
Yes, it's still in 18.
Okay, and huge interest, 0.35.
Yes.
Okay. All right, on to the balance sheet. Anybody see anything on the balance sheet? Or the budget performance, cash flow sheet? Okay. Where's the fixed, okay, we still got that fixed asset thing. We talk about it every month.
Correct.
And
And we need to set up a meeting
with Bixman, with
Mike.
Mike, to find out that fixed asset. Jim was asleep because he didn't say anything, so, okay, thank you. All right, go on to the
That should be on check.
$500 check report. Well, here, no question. Anybody have any questions on the budget or the balance sheet? No? No. All right, let's go on to the 500 check. Anybody see anything less $500 check report? Or the credit card report?
What was the,
Mike, and Larry?
no, just the reimbursement for the vehicle wreck. What was that about?
It wasn't a wreck, it was one of our mowers mowing the Franklin Canal, threw out a rock, busted the windshield
Oh, so things happen.
and the side window.
To our own equipment, right?
No, to
Oh, to somebody
To
else?
somebody
a
else.
citizen coming by.
Oh. Oh, and everything's cleared up?
Yes.
Okay.
Windshield and the side, to the back.
Was there anything we could have done to prevent that? Or was it just one of those street accidents?
It's just one of those freak accidents, and, you know, the Franklin, so, the Alameda's so close to the Franklin now, and with all that heavy traffic, it was just one of those things. We usually, we'll get one a year, maybe, of these, so Lisa did a good job on getting it to sign a waiver, or just,
Good, that was a good thinking.
Mary, forgive me, I
Minimize that
didn't
exposure.
let you interject your comments if there was anything you wanted to discuss on that.
Promise.
No?
She
Okay.
promised.
All right, let's go to tab C, which is the legal and consulting fee. Now, Mary, do you want to tell me why that's there?
This is a report that last month was in our board market, and from here on out will be provided,
Okay.
just detailing.
Right.
It's just for information purposes?
Well, it gives us a clearer view of sometimes Al's bills or,
Which she just told me I forgot to submit.
okay, well, sometimes we can't figure
I
it out.
submitted, but I
This
submitted.
is gonna let us figure out a little bit.
So, I missed the board meeting cutoff, I'm sorry about that.
That means this month is pro bono, okay? Is that right, Al?
I don't think it works that
Oh,
way.
it doesn't work your way? Okay. All right.
Well, on the engineering side of this,
These would all be from, the only one of them's from March, I think, is that what we found out?
Yes.
So,
Is that a contract?
no charge for general services for April and March?
No, he hadn't
That's
gotten
what
the
he's
bill.
saying.
no,
He hadn't gotten the
we
bill.
submitted them, but there was a mistake, and so we have to go back and correct them.
Sure.
That's what I meant, he's doing it pro bono, it appears. I think Al forgot to send the bill.
Well, I promise I'll charge you interest.
That's nice. All right. Right, any other questions? Anybody have any other questions, Mary?
I have a question.
Yes.
On the legal, maybe you can, maybe it's not the time or place, but what percentage, Phil, you did the real estate matters, right? And you're pretty consistent. James, you do everything. Now, of the real estate, are you doing real estate? In other words, I'm looking for you to do the real estate and you to do everything else. Are we dabbling back and forth?
Well, you can't always break them out like that, Matt. Let's take, for instance, the condemnation action out of San Antonio by the United States. That may get into documentary preparation, Phil may work on that. It's not looking good, so that case may be headed to trial, and goes to trial. I'll be primarily handling that. But it's not always possible to have clear lines of demarcation. I never see any of the licenses. Bill does all those, he and Al. But I guess I can't, that's about as good an explanation as I can
Okay,
give.
my concern is that on yours, you know, this is great, this table's great because we see everything. And yours, your fees are, it is what it is. That's what it is, that's what it is. But we gotta stay within the budget, and I'm just gonna make sure that if we have a real estate attorney, I wanna make sure that he does everything about real estate. And we minimize, right, yes, I understand you, I understand the big picture, but we just gotta be conscious of the fact that we are still increasing our budget. We're blowing our budget, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So we gotta be conscious of that, and I've been very quiet for a very, very long time. I just wanna say, okay, guys, let's figure something out that, you know, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But if Phil, if you can step up and do more real estate and keep him from billing us on the real estate, then maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I see the numbers. When you see numbers, they kind of don't lie, you know.
Certainly you're not speaking out of turn, but as Jim said, there's kind of a mixture sometimes of things that are both real estate as well as flow off into his area of concern. And to be frank with you, I attempt to do whatever I've been requested to do, and that I consider helpful to the the mission of the district, and I don't really try to put too fine a point on the matter to say that, well, this is real estate, this is not. And Jim and I have not had any disagreements about what about the division of our respective responsibilities. So
Miguel, oh, excuse me. We send detailed bills to the district, and the way to answer your questions is to look at the bills. A statement from me is more detailed than most attorneys give because it's time consuming to do the bills, and somebody at the district has to review them. But one of my bills might be 15 pages, 20 pages long. And Module Sperling, the law firm that we are using in New Mexico, and they're constantly involved. They submit bills also. Now this month, Mary noticed that Maria O'Brien had made a trip to Austin, the compact meeting, in fact, and Maria's mine is we don't charge for travel time. So if we're on an airplane 2 or 3 hours, we don't charge hourly rates for that. But in this particular case, it looks like Maria and her bookkeeping department had made a mistake and did charge. So for time that I was on I said the compact meeting, I'm mistaken. It's the meeting we made with Mr. Reyes to Austin to meet with these guys running the Texas case in the United States Supreme Court. And my bill was like 6 hours, and Maria's was like 18 or 20. So Maria has now said, oh, I will correct that. So that's going to save the district, based on what she billed, $2,000 to $3,000. So these bills are not trifling things. I don't charge time for preparing the bill, just like Al says, and I'm not charging interest on my bills. And we go to great pains to keep you all advised of what we're doing. And anytime anybody has a question, don't hesitate to raise it.
No, absolutely. I think that's commendable, Regent. I think we are winning together, and you guys have been invaluable as expert attorneys in your field. And we just move forward, and all I'm saying is let's just keep an eye on our budget, P's and Q's, and just going forward, and going forward into the next year's budget. That's what it's going to cost. That's what it's going to cost, right?
I don't think you can budget much because so much of our litigation is not within our control. For example, last week I had to spend time straightening out the clerk from the special master who's been appointed by the United States Supreme Court, because an attorney for Texas wrote her an email and said he spoke for everybody in Texas. So she erased us from the document. And
you can't control that.
Yeah, we have to restore us, and I explained, and nobody speaks for us except the lawyers for the district. The lawyers for the state of Texas do not speak for us.
Well, all I'm saying is that in everything, there's always room for improvement. So just keep an eye on the pennies and cents.
Point well taken.
Sonia this month.
Good morning.
Hello, Sonia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We have A, we have the review tax total adjustment. We have 6 items on the tax adjustments.
Okay. Okay, we have two state of Texas, that's A.
Yes, sir, we have 1 and 2, item 1 and 2,
Okay,
are the state of Texas right away.
okay,
We need to remove 2012, 13, and 14 tax assessment, collecting service charge, penalty and interest, and collection fees.
all right,
The state of Texas acquired part of the land on the road.
all right.
Okay, then we have items, that's 1 and 2.
Those were related, you know.
Yes, sir. And then we have items 3, 4, 5, and 6,
Okay,
which are related, and the property was acquired by the city of El Paso by general warranty deed on September 11, 2013. So property owner is tax exempt entity, therefore we need to remove 2014 tax assessment and a county service fee.
okay,
Property was acquired by the city of El Paso for a quality and life project.
all right. Is that 4 separate parcels, or is that, I said it's a warranty deed by document, got the same number,
It's 4 legals, 4
Okay.
pieces
all right.
on one
So
document.
those are only adjustments?
Yes, sir, 6 items.
I hear a motion to approve the adjustments as presented.
Seconded.
All right, Larry moved and Lindor seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Okay,
Now we have B, the 2013 through 2015 El Paso Public Service Board leases and assignments.
okay,
We up to date, we've had 750 leases, and then we collected 75,000 for processing fees. And in delinquent taxes, we collected 22,309.73 cents.
very good. Very good. Okay, and now, tax comparison?
Tax comparison, yes, sir. We are, from last year to this year, we're at 96.5981%, a little higher than last year. So we've been sending delinquent statements every month. We've been collecting pretty good, and we're gonna continue through June. We'll
Okay.
send them out from here, and after that, in July, the attorneys will take over and start sending out notices with the bidders.
In July, which is what, 6 months delinquent? Is it, or something like that?
And then the 50% collection fee
Okay.
is added. Our tax intentions.
Anybody on the board have any questions of Sonia? Very good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Rose, you did a good job in your,
She's got one more item.
oh, she has one more item? Oh,
Yes,
okay,
sir, one more.
I'm sorry. Trying to rush you.
No,
Okay,
no,
go ahead.
no.
Oh, I see that. Tab D, yes.
We have the report on the tax suits and
All right.
interventions. This is, we've been keeping up to date with our tax suits.
Mhm.
The attorneys we have so far, non-suit 45, and then we have 16 that judgment has been taken and property has been sold. And then we have 23 that judgments have been released. So next month, we'll remove 84 of them. And all the 261 tax suits we've had.
Oh,
They've
great.
been doing a good job with, the attorneys have been doing a good job with this.
Are you gonna actually remove them from the sheets we're looking at?
Yes, sir.
You are. Okay, make it a little easier for us to figure out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
We've been working on that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sonia.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. General Manager.
Okay. Item A, the update of the allocation. I furnished the latest allocation by the Bureau of Reclamation. We're up to 138,864 acre feet. EBID has 120,175, and Mexico has almost 25,000, 24,848 on their allocation. And the reason I furnished that sheet is we'll see the breakdown of exactly how much water is in storage, how much water is really at project water once you remove the San Juan Chama water credits and so on. And it gives you a pretty good breakdown of where we're at. Al's estimating by Robert's budget that we'll probably be able to go to September 15th, more or less, around there, maybe extend it a little further. EPID did start irrigating yesterday in the Hatch area. They released water for the Ray Canal, and we're scheduled and won't change from the 26th of this month. We'll release water at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we should have water down here in the El Paso vicinity safely by June 1.
Okay.
Everything goes all right.
June 1.
June 1.
That's excellent. Now, I have one question there on where it says after transfer, what transfers are you talking about? Al or two?
What number are
On
you?
38. That means transfers haven't happened. Is that credit water or what?
No, has to do with the operating agreement, and then they do the
Right.
contract. This is an
Okay,
operating
it's-
agreement
okay.
form.
All right, that is up. Okay, good enough. Okay.
In our farmers meetings, as you well know, went very well, and I think everybody's looking forward to the irrigation season, right, Robert?
Right.
The other Robert.
Yeah, no, I'm over
Those documents, right?
The other round.
Both Roberts.
All right. Okay,
So
Judy.
anyway, back to my
Settling basin.
the settling basin, we continue in discussions with IBWC on those issues with that new construction that's going on. As a matter of fact, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, Robert, Pete, Al, Jay, and myself are attending a IBWC meeting that more or less that I requested that we meet with Homeland Security and with the stormwater, El Paso Stormwater District, because they haven't come up to the table as to what their functions are with that College Arroyo that's figured in to cause us some problems in the future there at the settling basin. So we'll be meeting at 2 o'clock, and then we'll be able to report back to you all where we stand. I've talked to Commissioner Lucina about this issue. He and I have exchanged emails, a couple of early morning phone calls, and on this issue, and of course they're about $2.5 million into this project, and so they're concerned about our concerns now. So this meeting this afternoon will be to address some of those issues that we want to address with them, as far as the possibility of trash collection in that area and what we'll have to do to remove it and so on.
Design changes or not?
Maybe some design changes, yeah.
Yeah, that same presentation you gave last meeting, if you give it to them, I don't see how they can overlook some of those issues.
No, I think the design engineer's been pretty responsive to us so far. He's supporting the installation
So
of
we
an
can hold it.
automated trash system.
Hold out some hope that we get some improvement or not,
Well, we, by improvement,
meaning that it'll function.
maybe we can get a trash rake installed. It'd be about a $2 million estimate
About $2 million for us, about $6 million for them for the same thing.
that
It's just
we can get
it's just the
installed.
overhead of
Yeah.
the government process.
That'll solve some of the issues.
So what you're talking about would not be a design, start over, remove, redo. You're talking about improvements on what we saw.
What they
We're
have.
trying to
We'll
make
remove
that-
the trash before it gets to the
We're trying to
location
make that
where
work.
it
Okay.
collects, and so then you wouldn't have the problem because there won't be any trash in the water.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
solves the problem, and if it's cheaper than tearing it down and starting
And start
over,
over.
then they'll have to look at it.
Mr. Chair?
You know, it would be nice if we could somehow figure out where we could do the construction, because we'd save the government so much money. But we tried that before at the boundary, and they pretty much refused to let us work on that property.
All right, Mike?
We need to, Judy was nice enough to invite me to the meeting, and we went to the meeting where we met and so forth at night. And then the observance of what was going on, it was like a lot of finger pointing initially. The engineer didn't want to take any, that wasn't the speaker, I guess it was the designer.
I know, he was all right, he was the one that was on the telephone, it was well, you were there.
Who took offense?
I think it was the project.
The project engineer.
The chief engineer, the one for the entire boundary,
But the boundary wasn't.
but not the project engineer, of course, the design engineer.
Maybe their initial response was like, we don't take any responsibility for this, kind of like when you first get a wreck, it's not my fault. But now I believe you're starting to soften them up a little bit, and they're.
Well, I don't know, I've long ago for trying to predict what the boundary
Because
will be.
that meeting, you kind of sent the, I was walking away with the idea that it was our fault. They blamed a lot of things, for instance, when the fence went down, they blamed us because Jay didn't pull up the gates, or he didn't leave the gates down.